older sh games and shows, I don't really have a problem with it. I like older English stuff usually. The issue with them is just like modern talent and like modern just causing problems. Okay. But yeah, here we are with Tales of Vesperia. We're gonna try and put as much time into it as I can afford, probably like an hour and a half. Yeah, things have been going well for me, but like last night man, I've been busy. I mean, well, last night I took some time to like go out to eat and then like I just wrote a lot. And it was great. I had a great time. It's just um I wanted to stream last night and I just didn't do it. So I'm gonna try. I wanted to stream every day to try and like get through the game so I don't have to like blast through the entire thing in like a weekend or whatever. And I've been really enjoying the game, but I'm definitely ready to play something a little bit different. Like Atelier Yumiya is coming out next, and I think that's gonna be like the next one we play.
Good job, Spot.
Yeah, I thought
Finished
we would
now?
get we would be getting like Tales of Graces immediately after finishing it, but like with the way things are looking now, I think we're gonna go through like Atelier and Xenoblade Chronicles X first, and then kind of I don't know. I just can't keep up with everything. Like there's just so much I want to read, watch, and play. It's like I don't understand why like people spurg out over like Harry Potter remakes sucking shit. Like there's so much good stuff that like I can't imagine like like I can't imagine even really caring, honestly. Like I'm so tired of hearing about like some bullshit. Especially when like they're seething over like legitimately good-looking games. You know, like Atelier Yumiya, it's really odd. Like the way people are like acting as if the game is like somehow like gonna be a disaster. I just don't understand what the mindset is with that. Oh, Flynn's right-handed and I'm left-handed. I like that. Okay. Yeah, I like how the characters are like diametrically opposed. It's really cool. Like in general, like
Get ready. I'm
I
taking you
really find
down.
myself impressed with like a lot of these characters as like a concept, but not necessarily what happens in the actual game. You know, because I think the Raven twist might have been really interesting, but like in actual execution, it's just not. But like, I don't know, the attempt is so bold anyway. You kind of end up respecting it. I don't know. It's a really interesting.
All right, who's next?
It's really interesting to think about. Like, I definitely like. I really like the game. But I totally see why like a lot of people wouldn't. Like, I really strongly doubt this is like a particularly great Tales game.
We're done.
Like, I think I can already tell you that like Arise is way better. And I haven't put nearly amount of time in the same amount of time into it. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get around to Arise. Like, I think I'm legit gonna play through Graces and Symphonia first before I go back to that. The way things are looking now, that's
Don't get in our way.
yeah, it's March now, and I still feel like there hasn't been like any good Nintendo games this year. Like, what has come out? Like Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Like, is that it? Yeah, it's like it's all like third party games we've been playing, and this one's like 5 years old. Uh, hang on, where the hell are we going? Have I actually gone live? Why don't I have any viewers? Have I actually gone live? Why don't I have any viewers? Yeah, I usually have someone in like immediately. I suppose it's just like a weird stream time for me. Um, I don't usually like
Destroy
comment in
them
the
in no
morning, but
time.
like I need to get through this game. I really do.
Dragon! Alright, Ricky? You alright?
Yeah, so I think there's quite a lot of content left in the game after this.
That will suffice.
Okay. Uh, what? I can't get that door open. Wait, where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to go? It came down these stairs. It's locked due to some force. What? Oh, can I open it with the? No. What the hell am I supposed to do then? With some force? It's kind of vague, isn't it? Is that where I came in? Should I go up? Yeah, I remember coming down here. Like, yeah, I stopped immediately after saving, so I didn't explore. If there's some ridiculous plot twist in regards to the Sorcerer's Ring, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, I don't even like the fact that it exists because it makes no sense and it just makes the game like needlessly complicated in some ways, certain respects. So what does it mean by some force? Like, I'm so confused. Yeah, I feel like we've been playing JRPGs like for the past year. It's been crazy. Final Fantasy 6 and 5. Uh, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, like Brothership. Yeah, it's been all sorts of things.
That's over.
I've unlocked new strength.
Well, what force? Like, uh,
Get ready. I'm taking you down. Dragon Sword!
yeah, 21st is gonna be insane. Like, that's a pretty big year for gaming in general.
All right.
They know each other way too well.
Okay. What force? What am I supposed to do? I swear, if it takes me forever to figure this out. It has to be down here, right? I remember seeing a cutscene when we entered the room. Okay.
Land.
Okay.
I'll fight you wherever you want.
Yeah.
Let me through. I
Get
just
ready. I'm taking
want
you
to
down.
figure this out. Okay.
Good boy.
Oh, caprice of innocent walkers.
Try again.
We've been playing for 10 minutes and we haven't gotten out of this room. Unbelievable. Like, it's not that hard, buddy. Okay. I wonder if we'll have enough time to beat the dungeon and, like, move on. I would really like to finish this arc and move on to the...
By my honor as a knight.
Yeah, were we in, like, Nordopolica, like, 10 hours ago? That feels like... Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 10 hours ago. Wow, it feels so long. There we go. I feel like so much has happened since then with, like, discovering Yormjen and then, like, the monster thing. It's just crazy how much happens in this game. Okay.
This is modest land. Finished.
Okay. Who uses whips? I think that's really? That's it? Like, I don't know why they, like, killed off Raven and then, like, brought him right back. I'm just kind of like, what were they thinking with that? It's just such a careless decision. Like, I don't know. This part of the game feels weirdly rushed. Like Flynn just kind of joins you, and then, like, you just do all this shit. Like, they didn't set up Alexei
I'm
as
just
a
getting started.
antagonist properly. It's like, I don't know. Did they run out of money, like, making this? It's just weird. And we're only, like, halfway through, too. I've looked. So I'm very confused about, like, the nature of... Wait, what? No, is this where I came from?
From behind? Oh, man.
Relax. Oh, nice moves.
I mean, maybe I should be, like, fighting as many monsters as possible to grind for the boss, which I'm sure is going to be obnoxious. But...
So is that okay?
Judith.
Perfect.
No, I haven't opened that chest, so I guess I haven't been back here yet.
You'll be gone soon enough.
Yeah, it might look the same as, like, that other platform, which is why I'm confused. It looks like just like the starting area here, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, everything looks the same in this area.
That's over.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, playing the game again, you'll pick up more about Raven now that you know that he's actually Schwann. Because I don't fucking remember Schwann at all. Like, did we actually see him, like, early? Like, I don't remember if we did. I don't remember hearing anyone talk about. There's so many fucking characters in this game that like I don't know how you would keep up with them all unless you got like super hyper obsessed. And I think that's like when Tales is at its best, is when like you're really absorbed in the world and the characters. Because I heard stories about this with Symphonia too, where like people who were like casually into it didn't really care for it much, but like really dedicated fans just loved it. I don't know, maybe it's just like a staple of the series, but I mean, it's always had like a passionate fan base, but or at least it has since Symphonia. I don't know. It feels like it's been forever since like I've heard anyone talk about Tales though. Like before Arise came out, like the last time it felt like the series was relevant was Symphonia. You know, like Dawn of the New World was like super unpopular, and after that, it's like, or like seen as not as good as the first one, I should say. I think this was better received actually. Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely really interesting, like getting into something like this because I've been hearing about Tales for years, so it's what? So it's really weird finally like having the opportunity to actually play them. Oh, there we go, Cankus. Yeah, I should have figured by reading the description. What's with like
We'll destroy
Hattie's
them in
weapon
no
sets?
time.
They're just so confusing. Okay.
Flickering blaze.
Oh. Oh. And I still haven't played Suikoden because I'm so busy like trying to get through this. It's so frustrating. I really wish I could have waited a while before picking that one up, but I really didn't want to wait because you know it's Suikoden and I don't know. So we'll be playing like 3 huge JRPGs at once. Like I imagine, well, I mean Xenoblade X, Suikoden, and Atelier. Well, I mean Atelier is probably going to take priority. I mean, at the very least, Atelier and Suikoden are different genres, so we'll probably focus on those and then like casually like just play Xenoblade X. We'll get into it eventually, but for now, I think we are going to focus on the other games. Like it'll be nice finally getting through this. Like that, it's been a nice thing in general. I'm very thankful that I finally have time to play JRPGs because it feels like for the past 5 years or so, I've just been like really putting most of them off because of just like how much like how desperately I was trying to like get my writing career to take off. And now that it has, I'm so thankful that I can actually play these games again. Oh. I don't know. I'm very thankful for everything I have in life. The JRPGs, the ability to play them, the time to enjoy them. Like obviously, I'm still not where I want to be yet, but someday, yeah, I'll be a real JRPG fanatic.
Together now.
Okay. Yeah, we are 19 minutes in. And we're probably not going to play very long. Probably just another 40 minutes. I might play something else, like maybe Wario Land or something. I don't know. I could probably play, like... I would love to play Dungeon Dice Monsters, but, like, I don't know when I'm going to have time for that. Like, I really got into it when I played it the other day, but I fucked up the final round against Yugi. And now I had to play through that entire tournament again.
Try and keep up.
I guess as you play it, you unlock more and more dice, so... Eventually, we'll start getting dice that aren't just completely awful. Because the game really isn't hard at all, from what I understand. It just has lots of weird rules to it. Like, Yugi got the better of me because I couldn't, like... Baby Dragon apparently flies, and flying monsters in Dungeon Dice Monsters, you can just walk under them for some reason. Like, I had no idea that was a thing, and yet, like, Yugi just somehow,
That's
like,
over.
just wrecked me because of it. It's just crazy. I don't remember that mechanic at all. Like, I truly
Get
don't.
ready. I'm taking you down.
Like, there's all these weird mechanics in that game that just don't make any sense. I don't know. I was thinking today, like, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon TCG. I always assumed Yu-Gi-Oh! Had to be better than the Pokemon TCG because, like, the entire thing was, like, centered around the card game. So it just made sense to me that, like, yeah, it's their main
Let's
thing. They're
go.
going to put their best foot forward. I think the Pokemon TCG is better. Now that I've spent, like, a lot of time with both. I think there's more room for strategy. I think it's more accessible. I think, like, there are lots more, like, uh, things you could do. There's a lot more strategy to it. Like with Yu-Gi-Oh, you just have the best cards and you win. But with like Pokemon, you can actually like play around people having better cards than you. It's really interesting seeing like on the fly strategies you come up with. Right? Like just today,
You'd have gone soon enough.
I made a new deck. It was supposed to be a dark type deck, but I didn't have like a lot of dark cards. So I just ended up bullshitting and like throwing together like a Darkrai EX with like Venopedes, the Venipede line, and like Murkrow. And like that seems like fucking bullshit,
Get in our way.
but I swear it's been like working out for me so much better than my last deck. Cause like I can poison the enemy, and then when they retreat, I can send like Honchkrow after it because it can attack any Pokemon in the field. Like it's like it's so cool that like the last guy I played, he played like an Arceus EX. So what ended up happening was that like I didn't have shit that could beat it. So I just like sent out Honchkrow, had it attack a monster in the back, do damage to it, and then like I played Cyrus and dragged out the damaged monster, and then beat it with like a Whirlipede. It was like it was insane. Wait, hang on, what? It was so much fun, and I didn't plan any of that out like beforehand. It was all just an organic, just on the fly thing. I'm just like, okay, this is what he's doing. This is what I have. Let's do this, and it worked too. It's like, um, he did everything I expected him to do, and I got the better of him that time. It was so sad. It's so much fun when you finally start like getting the hang of the game and start like
Wanted to ask
customizing
you
your
about
decks
something
and
Yuri
coming up
said
with like
back when you were
scenarios.
at Polika.
Huh?
I'm talking about how Yuri said that he.
Well, that's...
For example, if you became someone that Yuri thought, do you think he'd swing his blade even if he was facing a precious friend?
Yuri isn't the kind of person who can... But if he felt he really needed to,
Really? Do you?
there was sadness in his eyes.
Then it's true. But that kind of
Even if it's going to deeply... I believe he's determined to live the rest of his life. Yuri possesses just that...
You think so?
But if Yuri is going to continue committing crime, then I will have to stop. I earnestly hope that day...
Flynn, you're really.
Am I? I don't know about that.
Determined to live the rest of his life.
It feels like that should have been an optional conversation. What the fuck was that? Like, I don't know. This game really suffers from like Veronica syndrome because it does the same thing where like you have all these party members, and yet the one that's in focus like the most is like the fucking lolly. And it's so frustrating, especially if you like other characters more. It's like, why the fuck is the lolly like talking all the time? Why is she the one to talk to Flynn? Like Flynn in general has had like nothing to do with what's been going on. Like, yeah, him joining us should be a huge deal, and yet it's just not. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna have a lot of interesting things about to say about this in the review. I think I'm gonna have a lot of spicy hot takes. Um, like I'll probably be talking about the story and plot a lot because like it's definitely really interesting as like a novelist, like seeing what this game is like doing, because like it has some really well thought out themes and character writing, but like the pacing just like really diminishes what should be like absolute kino. It's
By my honor as a knight,
it's
I'm
very
about to
disappointing in certain respects, but like I don't know. I'm just being overly anal. Like I get like this whenever I really enjoy something that I think has like really crippling flaws, or like it the flaws are really crippling. They're really bad, and yet like it doesn't really diminish the product at all in my mind. That's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, it reminds me of like Cobra Kai, where like I got like super into it, and yet like it's something that I really had a lot of problems with as well. You must be pretty strong to move that with one hand. Link needs to. Okay. Uh, yeah, I think we really do need to like start talking about why Nintendo is so successful because a lot of people seem to be like still seem to be blindsided by like the success of the Switch. Because I noticed this like going into like the console season, there was this like really dedicated mindset among a lot of pretendos that like um, Switch was just a fluke, and that the Switch 2 would like be like kind of a disappointing, underwhelming like follow up. Like, oh, Nintendo has never put out two successful consoles in a row. Like, it's just it was just a giant cope from people who are like desperate for Nintendo to be seen like the same way they did in the 90s. Like they desperately want to like see the company fail because like they've been expecting it for so long. Like again, people just don't understand like just what they've done and how they've built up their brands. Like I think a lot of people like don't understand like how popular this stuff actually is. You know, like I saw Mario Day stuff on the news, you know, in passing, on March 10th. So, like, the fact is, Mario is like a culturally relevant character now, alongside like Pikachu.
spirits. Shite.
Blizzard in one word, pathetic. I know. Like, what the fuck are they thinking? Like, I. This is like. I mean, I'm not surprised that, like, this happened because you see this kind of stuff all the time. Whenever you actually like if you follow like game dev circles enough. But like yeah, like the fact that like it just kind this thing just happened and nobody thinks this is like a huge deal and like incredibly unprofessional. It's very telling what like the culture is at Blizzard and in the wider gaming sphere. Um, Like, do you think Grums is gonna call this out? No, of course not. Grums is gonna like sit on like he's gonna just talk about how much he wants to bang that chick from Monster Hunter Wilds again. Like that's what Grums is doing. He's just like squeezing his cock over uh the mid Monster Hunter girl. Good thing I got that screenshot. Yeah, yeah. It's saved. It's on I made a video about it. Yeah, it's saved on my hard drive. Yeah. I think somebody else on V actually spotted it first. I was not the one to like notice that. Someone on 4chan like posted it first, so it was already out there, but I think I have the potential to make it more mainstream and known because of just what my channel is doing and just how I've been conducting my just the reputation I built up and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely jumped right on that. Actually, like people keep like I've been talking about this too. It feels like it's been a really slow time for me, but like I think a big reason for that is because like a lot of devs were like waiting for the Switch 2 to be announced so they can start like pretending to be like so they can start like being shitty towards Nintendo again. Like this console hasn't been proven yet, so that's why we can't support it. And I think now that like wait a minute, this isn't where we came from. What? Okay, wow. Like I thought this is where we. Okay, I must have gotten battery. Yeah, I think a lot of developers. I think what happened is that like the gaming industry was just like, okay, we can't downplay Zelda. There's nothing we can do to downplay Zelda. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna declare Tears of the Kingdom to be the best game on Switch and like the game of the year. This absolute masterpiece of a game, and then we're just gonna stop talking about the Switch. We're gonna stop like talking about the new games that are coming out. We're gonna not acknowledge the fact that no successor is on the horizon. We're gonna pretend Tears of the Kingdom is like the last game on Nintendo Switch. So like that's what they tried to do, right? They tried like doing this thing where they weaponize Zelda against like other Nintendo brands, specifically Mario Wonder, right?
Hold still. I'll make this quick.
Like, oh man, like everything they're putting out is late now is lazy and uninspired. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom was the last game on Switch. It's like they did that. So they could like turn around when the Switch 2 actually comes out and like say it's like a disappointing release is what I'm expecting to see going forward. You're gonna see a lot of these people flip and start talking shit about like all of the games that like they show off. People are gonna pretend Mario Kart isn't as big of a deal as it is. People are gonna shit on like Smash 6 or whatever. Yeah, when did Ultimate come out? It was 2019, right? 2018? Yeah, I think we're due for a new one. But like, yeah.
Listen, that's over.
I mean, they're probably primarily like hiring activists and like people who like very deeply hate Nintendo and everything they do. Yeah, because I was wondering about that when like looking at the Twitter account, like who's actually running the account? Because it's not a developer, it's not anyone important. It's like some social media guy. So like someone from NeoGAF or whoever who spent like the past decade like claiming Nintendo was going to go bankrupt is now running the Blizzard account and has the opportunity to like say something to Nintendo that'll get noticed. So yeah, like to me, I think these people are just doing what they've always done, honestly. Like the difference now is that they have like industry positions that they're very very adamant at keeping, right? And people aren't really noticing it's a problem because like people look at stuff like this and think it's like a natural reaction to like Nintendo that like their reputation is deserved somehow. When in reality, it's just like people seething about their continued success. And like I'm really curious of like when people are gonna notice this because like I kind of said this in the video, but like the problem with Gamergate was that like people weren't acknowledging the actual fucking problem. You know, because like game journals weren't talking about the good video games. Like that's what it all like really boils down to. Like the bigger issue when it comes to Gamergate, like not giving good scores to bad games, not like the political nature of it. Like the issue was that they were deliberately ignoring good games specifically from Nintendo. And like that has gone completely unaddressed in like the past decade on pretty much everywhere other than like the Harman Smith show. Like I'm like the only person who ever brought that up. And even now that's true. Right now like you have people trying to gaslight gamers into thinking Nintendo is somehow like more woke than other companies. Just look at how they're trying to make a
We'll
conspiracy out
destroy
of
them in no
Operation Second
time.
Rainfall, right? Like just look at how they seethe over like Atsulia or Yumiya. You know, like it's just like they completely ignore the good games for
Try and
over
keep up.
25 years, and they're surprised that like modern gaming fucking sucks. You know, it's like they never played anything good. They weren't on the right platforms. They don't want to play on the right platform.
Finish
They
line.
uh they just want to seethe about like and blame the imaginary feminist who's ruining video games. This chord progression reminds me of those like that mine theme in like Donkey Kong Country. Like if you know, like doesn't it sound the exact same? Yeah, I love the stream a lot, but like I think we are gonna have to like end the stream pretty early tonight. It's so disappointing. I'm so like enjoying like streaming and like making videos and doing like writing and stuff like that, but like nope, gotta get to work tomorrow. I don't know. I'm really enjoying work though, for sure. I've already taken on like some more responsibility, and it's been like a dream. It really has been. Hey, what the hell? Wait. So what is stopping the freight gonna do?
Sorry, but you're going bye-bye.
Oh, those are still moving, but this is not. Okay. Why is it locked? Wait. Uh, Now, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, this is an elevator, but it won't work. Okay. Okay. So we've just circled around back to where we started. We've made no progress. None. Like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Yeah, I think we have no choice. I think we're gonna have to stop here. Like, I don't know where to go. I'm completely lost. I've been successfully bamboozled by the Mobile Fortress Heracles. Ah. 25. Yeah, 25:54. Wow. Yeah, we're 26 hours in. Have no idea where I'm going.
Together now.
Together now. Okay. As opposed to alone. Alone now.
Flickering flames
Uh.
burn.
I want to see Atelier Yumiya. It's been Yumiya. I'm a Lumia fan. I'm a Yumiya fan. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about other games for like forever now. But like I'm really enjoying this, so it's locked due to some force. What fucking force? Like what does that fucking mean? Like I'm so confused. Ooh.
Flickering blaze burn.
All right.
I don't know why you can't even walk out the door.
You'll be gone soon enough.
Incantation focus. Annihilate the vault before me.
Who's next? We're done.
Okay. Well, like I said from the onset that I wasn't gonna stay up long. An hour was about as much as I could manage. I mean, I'm trying to grind through this game, but like I couldn't even I was talking about like beating the boss, and meanwhile I can't even like get out of this fucking room.
Hold
I've just been
still.
going in
I'll make this
circles.
quick.
I blame the game like for not giving me progress, for not letting me progress. Has DSP ever played this? Like, how did he handle it? I doubt it. Like DSP plays like nothing but bullshit. Like it's fucking crazy how he'll play like the sloppiest of Western slop, and yet like he'll refuse to play like any JRPG other than like Final Fantasy. Uh,
That will suffice.
I think modern Nintendo games are going to continue to sell for a very very long time. I think like because they'll be available on like digital distribution platforms, they like won't stop selling the way that like games used to. So yeah, I could see it hitting 40 million eventually. It might not be soon, but it might take a re-release or something. But yeah. But yeah, I do think we need to stop talking about sales in
Hold
general because
still.
I
I'll make this
find that
quick.
like the discussion has like become really misleading. Because like Power World, they love saying that like, oh, we sold 32 million units. Like it's not actually true. They have 32 million players, and that's like people on Game Pass and like people who refunded the game. It's like it it's like a misleading metric. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as like actual units sold.
Dragon Sword!
And like you keep seeing like people
Let's
talk
go.
about this like without really taking into account like the budget and like the genre. You know, like Arms like is a really good example of this. It sold 3 million units when it came out. A lot of people like loved to compare it to Splatoon because Splatoon like sold way more. But you have to understand like Arms is like being a fighting game is a lot more niche than like Splatoon, which is like an online shooter. So Arms actually did really really well by fighting game standards. So like you have to like think about this when talking about like how well games do, and you just don't see people do that. They just think the bigger number is better in every
That's
situation.
over. I'm not done yet.
I know, like DSP was like based before like the live chat. Like seeing him fuck around with games is legit like the funniest thing. Like I had so much fun like watching his old school playthroughs are just oh they're amazing. Like the shit he would come up with. Yeah, I unironically just love old school. This is how you don't play it. Like Phil became boring after the. Wait a minute, what the fuck? This was a hallway? How was I supposed to figure that out? Why can't I? Huh? Why can't I drag this bastard over here? Why would I want to? Can I push it down the stairs? Yeah, why would I want to drag it over here? What? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the DSP thing has kind of I hate to say overstayed its welcome, but like I do think that like a lot of people are like way too obsessed with Phil. And I think it's just kind of unreasonable. I always have thought that to a certain extent, but I don't know. It's like I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's been dying down a lot ever since like Keto Casino started like being a bit like treating Phil like an actual person. But oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, Steam charts. Yeah, that's like the big thing right now is the like because Nintendo is selling more than everyone else, they tried doing this weird thing where they started introducing like player counts on Steam as if that's like an important metric. Because like how how exactly are you like comparing Steam player counts versus like everyone else? Like how do you not know that like there isn't a way bigger player base on the same game on like GOG or like fucking or like Switch even? Like how why the fuck are you looking at Steam? It's like I think it's a misrepresentation of what was that? How was that? That was in my house. What was it? The game? I heard this weird like squeaking noise. Was it the game? I swear it wasn't the game. I'm like hearing things now. Like what the fuck level of delusion is this? Yeah, has Monster Hunter Wilds like fallen off already? Like it feels like it has. Like I saw someone like I saw someone like talk about how like Wilds like tanked in player counts almost immediately, and like it is true, but like people like went to damage control for that immediately. Like, oh no, it's this time of day. Like the game didn't only release in North America, you fucking retard. So like it's just like it's just a giant cope. It's the same thing with Baldur's Gate 3. Like, oh no, the player count is actually extremely high. Like, no, it fucking isn't. I don't know. Like the player count means like whatever you say it means. You know, like it's just like I don't want to hear people talking about like player counts ever. It's just a giant cope.
How's this?
Run through that with black.
But yeah, if Monster Hunter goes down, if like people really have enough of Monster Hunter, like Capcom doesn't have anything else to fall back on. It's like it's been their golden goose for like probably a solid decade now. It's like the only thing that anyone has respect for. And like if they lose that to like Elden Ring, they're like, well, I mean, they shouldn't lose it to Elden Ring. I mean, classic Monster Hunter was way better than like anything from Slop ever shit out, but yeah, if they don't support Nintendo consoles, yeah, they're gonna be fucked. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody talk about Wild. Like nobody. Like I have no idea how the game has been received. Like the people I see like praising Wilds are the same people, sort of people who would like praise bullshit like Stellar Blade or like you know that's exactly what it is. It's Grum's like thirst posting over like a random female NPC. That's like all I've seen over Monster Hunter Wilds. It's the reason why I keep talking about it is that like Grums won't shut the fuck up about how like Monster Hunter Wilds is based somehow. even though it's like the opposite of based. That's another thing I've noticed is that like a lot of the anti-woke grifters will say something is based when it's like really not. And like I think Wild is a really good example of that. Um,
Bush.
I'm not used to this team.
I'm not used to this team. What?
You okay? This is
Come on, Wind. Oh.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot lately. Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's what I'm doing by like calling out Grums, but like it's very frustrating. Like I think a lot of this would be like easily avoided if like if they just clarified like what makes a game woke. Cause like it feels like in a lot of ways like people just throw the woke label at shit that really doesn't deserve it. While like praising shit like Kingdom Come Deliverance, which absolutely is woke. It's I don't know. Like it feels like right now like marketing companies are trying to like downplay uh, their competition by like associating them with like woke culture. You know, we saw that with like Atelier Yumiya, where like they released that like that interview talking about how the character is like cooler than the typical like Atelier protagonist. And like people like took that to mean that it's like woke now, even though that's like have you seen that chick's legs? Like that those legs like are the most anti-woke thing ever. I'm just kind of like what are you talking about, you fucking retards? I'm just so like I'm so like just fed up with the anti-woke discourse. It's just so nonsensical and is so like out of touch with what the problem actually is. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I've tried like calling out like Grums. I've tried calling out like Stuttering Craig and Varadaric and all these grifters, Raging Golden Eagle, but like I don't know. Like it feels like they're very niche personalities. It's weird. Like it really feels like the anti-woke movement has no like real momentum behind it because like everybody involved in it is like a fucking clown. It's kind of like America First and like Nick Fuentes, where it's just a bunch of worthless people who don't know anything about anything, and yet they're like supposed to save video games somehow.
All right.
Like the real red pill is that like bad video games have always existed, you know. Like back in the 90s we would get like Sonic the Hedgehog and like just absolute trash like that, right? And like the industry would try to sell it to us as like a masterpiece. And a lot of people ate it up, you know. Like the things that are happening now with like The Last of Us, like the same sort of things were happening. Like the industry has always sold you bad games. It's not like some new novel thing that like fucking communism invented. It's just the nature of like the entertainment industry. Like they don't actually know how to produce anything that people want to play. Oh shit, it's that late already? Oh, yeah, I guess I got started a little bit late. Fuck. Well, I guess I could keep playing, but
We got a head start. All at once.
Whew. Yeah, I'd like to get through this weekend, but I really don't think it's gonna happen.
Concentrate our efforts.
The 11th. Yeah, I think you're joking, but I think the Switch will be on the market that long because it's gonna have to like coexist with the Switch 2 for like a certain amount of time. Was that like that was the synthetic man, wasn't it? Yeah. Like yeah, that's actually like the most blatant example of what I'm talking about is like how retarded like the anti woke community is. It's like shit like that. Like shit like Colonel Otaku Gatekeeper on Twitter, like just people like spouting insane bullshit that no one actually believes. Oh holy shit. Oh, that's what you're supposed to do. How the fuck was I was just fucking around. I, That's what you were supposed to. Okay, okay. So there's the other two as well. There's the one over here. Well, how do I get to it? Well, at least we figured out what we're doing now. Yeah, I think we can figure this out before I go to bed. Okay. What the fuck am I doing? Yeah, like I think this is just like this is my genuine belief. I think that like the Taku Gatekeeper is like legit a psyop to make the right look retarded. That's like kind of my like impression of him, like watching about his talking points and the shit he says. Because like no actual Japanese person like believes any of the shit he. Well, first of all, he's like I think that's been like his story doesn't make any sense. He's like some like British guy who was like raised in British but like worships Japanese culture for some reason. It's like it's so obviously like transparently fake. But he spouts like common observations about like the decline in Japanese culture and like people use that to like kind of uh oh here we go to kind of denounce that kind of thinking. Oh, here we go. But I imagine a lot of like Twitter accounts are like that. Uh, like I really like I'm really curious what the mindset is behind like the anti-Japan thing on Twitter because it keeps coming up because you keep having these obvious like bait conversations about how like women are getting raped on subways by Japanese guys or something. It's like it's not true at all, but like it's like insane leftist shit like aimed at Japan. Uh, okay, so it's coming from the top. I don't know. I've said this before, but like I think the gaming community kind of deserves to like just collapse at this point because nobody really nobody really wants to talk about the real fucking problem. Nobody wants to like uh credit for Nintendo for everything they've been doing for the past 20 years because they have withstood the past 20 years without being affected by like the bullshit happening in the West at all. Like nobody even like really acknowledges that's true, but yet like yeah, Ubisoft is like a really good example like about how like people gut like about how the sales numbers for modern corporations are fake. Cuz like if they really were selling like 15 million units of like Assassin's Creed or whatever, like they wouldn't be struggling financially. What's actually happening is that they're giving away a lot of units for free. They're doing everything they possibly can to inflate those numbers and just to look good for shareholders. Like that's it. Like they're not actually selling that many units. So I think you're gonna see like this really interesting like uh when Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, you're gonna see them like claim the game as a huge success story, even when they're like laying people off and continuing down their path to bankruptcy. Like it's gonna be very it's gonna be really interesting. Why is it locked? How do the mechanics work? Yeah, that's how Ubisoft does it. Like, yeah, they go on sale like really quickly. I bought like Mario Rabbids for like what, like $20, like a couple of weeks after launch. It was something like that. Like, I didn't buy it because I knew it would go on sale. Like, Ubisoft is like really bad about that, and like people know it too. People know it too, so they'll like wait until like they go on sale if they want to play it. This is why Nintendo doesn't put their games on sale, by the way. But uh, yeah, how the fuck are we supposed to do this? Like, I don't understand what the issue is. Like, it's locked. Who gives a shit? Oh, the controls for the Blastia freight lift. Like, I don't fucking care. And surely it has something to do with like coming up here, right? Yeah, like if I could just use the switch, I'd be able to lift it up and like push it down. But no, like it's too easy apparently. Like, oh, the freight lift is what? What do you mean it's locked? It's like lit up and everything. Like, let me use it. Like, you want me to enter a passcode? LARA. Of course, it didn't fucking work. Did anyone get that reference, by the way? Okay. That's not exactly obscure, but I think a lot of people would get it. Okay. 10 million. I don't think like Echoes of Wisdom was that popular. I mean, it did fairly well for like a Grezzo title. Like Triforce Heroes was actually one of the low. I think it's still. I think it's the least selling Zelda ever now. But yeah, like Echoes of Wisdom did better than that, which I think is probably what we should compare it to. I don't know. I definitely think Echoes of Wisdom's like one of the weaker Zelda games. I really liked it for what it was, but it definitely had some weird like pacing problems and it was too short. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was way better. It's adorable seeing people like try and pretend that like Tears of the Kingdom was disappointing when it's like that game is like 150 hours long of like top tier combat. Oh, but it's the same world again. Yeah, that's a good thing. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know about you, but I grew up like wanting to see the world of Ocarina of Time again. You know, like kind of wanting to see how like the characters and the world had changed. Like, I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be really appealing to people who like really, 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 really loved Breath of the Wild and did everything in it. Like, to me, the people who like don't like Tears of the Kingdom are people who like didn't play Breath of the Wild, in my opinion. And I think that's the only way you could like justify saying the games are too similar because they're really not similar at all if you like really think about it. I really should get to bed. I can't believe I'm fucking around with this stupid fucking puzzle. Is it even a puzzle? Am I just like missing something? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. I've been at this for an hour. Tears is currently the victim of the Zelda cycle. Yeah, you're gonna see this really weird shift when like the sequel comes out, where like everyone starts like missing the setting up here, Breath of the Wild and Tears after shitting on Tears. Like they're gonna be in a hard position when like the next one comes out because they're gonna have to like justify why it's like not as good as Tears after like spending so much time shitting on Tears. It's gonna be a nightmare for them. They haven't really recovered from doing that to Breath of the Wild actually. Like they spent years like shitting on Breath of the Wild, and now that they're nowhere to be found, that game is now commonly regarded as like the greatest ever. Well, it always was, but like there was a lot of opposition to that until Tears of the Kingdom got announced. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna end the stream. Like, yeah, this is the worst case of like the Zelda cycle I've seen since like Skyward Sword came out. Because it hasn't really been a problem. Like, I think that's the reason why people didn't call it out like immediately because A Link Between Worlds didn't really suffer from it. Breath of the Wild didn't really suffer from it. Like, Breath of the Wild kind of broke the Zelda cycle in a lot of ways. So to see it come back in this fashion is like really interesting. I was making the comparisons to Majora's Mask almost immediately because people said the same thing about Majora's Mask. They complain about the reused engine and like the aspects ripped from Ocarina of Time and like you know how lazy it felt. And it's weird looking at it today considering what a cult classic Majora's Mask is and how so many people think of it as one of the all-time great games, but at the time it was a very polarizing sequel. Very, very polarizing. I mean, like, I think Majora's Mask had the same fundamental problem as like Tears of the Kingdom, is that they were follow-ups to like games that were considered the best ever, and still are considered the best ever.
I'm just getting started.
So in a lot of ways, I think a lot of people were gonna be like salty about Tears of the Kingdom no matter what, but can't fucking believe it. I couldn't get past the fucking barrier. Like, I was beaten by a wall. Like, oh, fucking that's just insane. That's insane to me. Uh yeah, it's that late already. Yeah, I really should be like ending the stream now and going to bed, but I really like the idea of like chilling and just enjoying myself. I don't know. Like, you don't have to wait until the weekend for sure.
Okay.
We're doing the Nick Rekieta cocktails. So we're starting off.
It's an hour long. Yeah, we can't watch that. Yeah, I gotta call it quits. I gotta get to bed. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I'll come back tomorrow hopefully, and we'll continue streaming Tales of Despair, and hopefully